Welcome back, guys. I have been planning to do this video for a very long time now, and I debated whether or not to make it spoiler-free or with spoilers. But I decided that I'm probably one of the last people on Earth in the bookish community that has not read this series yet. And I thought it would be kind of fun for you guys to watch me go through all of the things, all of the emotions, and learning about the world and the characters, and yeah. So welcome to the spoiler Throne of Glass vlog, part 1. I also debated for a very long time how many parts I was going to do for this vlog series, but I think officially it's going to be 2 parts. I'm going to do the first 4 books and then the last 4 books. I'm very excited for this vlog. I have already started Throne of Glass. I have also debated all of the different reading orders, and I'm just done being stressed out about whether or not I'm reading it in the correct order. So I saw on Reddit that a lot of people think that it hits more emotionally if you read it Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Assassin's Blade, Queen of Shadows, blah, blah, blah. So that's how I'm going to do it. I know that some people read Assassin's Blade first. I know that some people read Assassin's Blade third, but I want this series to emotionally destroy me. And Reddit told me that that is the order that will emotionally destroy me. For a very long time, I always thought I would read Assassin's Blade first, but I think getting to know Selena in this way first, and then hearing her backstory after I'm already connected with her, I think it will just hit harder. That's another thing. I have somehow avoided all spoilers for this series. Maybe not all, but most. Like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that spoils anything. I know of the characters. I know their names. That's essentially it. But I do not know who is who. I don't know what character is everyone's favorites. Every time I see something Throne of Glass related, I immediately scroll past it because I don't want to be spoiled at all. So here we are. I'm on chapter 5, page 28. So really not that far in. I like Dorian so far. When she first comes into the room and the Duke, like some random guard guy, like forces her to bow to Dorian, and he just goes, "I don't quite comprehend why you'd force someone to bow when the purpose of the gesture is to display allegiance and respect. So perhaps your intent is to humiliate her, but I think she's had enough of that." Okay. So love that. I've met Kale. I think that's his name. Kale. See, that's another thing is I have to look up all the pronunciations of everything in here. He seems like a dick so far. And obviously Selena. I have read up until they are on horseback right now going to Rifthold. I think that's how you pronounce it. And they just stopped for lunch. So that's where I'm at. A lot of people say that the first few books are a little bit hard to get through because Sarah J. Maas did start to write these books, I think when she was 16, I'm pretty sure. The writing is not so good, not the best. And I definitely have already picked up on that. It's a little bit cheesy, but I'm trusting everyone that this is going to get better and better with every book. It's funny. She uses a lot of exclamation points. I just think it's funny. I have read ACOTAR. I have not read Crescent City. So am I going to be comparing it to ACOTAR? Maybe a little bit. I am very interested to see if I will be more of a Throne of Glass or more of an ACOTAR girly by the end of this. We shall see. Definitely don't have all the information yet. I don't know when this video is going to come out, actually. I planned for it to come out at the end of this month. Right now it's March 1st. Might actually be a little later. I will keep you guys updated. I still haven't made it that much farther. Selena is just training with Kale. Every time I say his name, I think of the vegetable kale. As you can see, I stripped my bed, so I'm just waiting for my sheets to be dry, so I'm gonna do a little bit of reading. officially a little over halfway through in Throne of Glass, so I figured I would give a little update. So Cain is acting weird and like he's stalking around the weird clock tower thing. We have met, oh my god, what's her name? Princess Nehemia. I think that's how you say it. I tried to look up all the pronunciations of the names, and I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Selena has found the passageway that's behind the tapestry in her room, and she's had her little dream vision thing that wasn't actually a dream of Queen Elena telling her that there's something evil in the castle. A bunch of the champions, a bunch of the champions are dying randomly, and somehow Selena's out here like, no, the evil thing and the deaths aren't connected. So that's a little bit of an oversight, Selena, but she saved Nox from falling in one of their tests. What else has happened? I am not going in order. I don't really have theories at all, which I feel like is good because I'm still just like diving right into this blind. The love triangle situation that's kind of happening. I do think that Selena ends up with Dorian, I think, because I remember people saying that they hate Kale, but they're definitely both crushing on Selena, and Selena is crushing on both of them. So there's that too. I'm finding it a little tiny bit slow. This is the problem with reading a super hyped up series, is that sometimes you're just like trying to convince yourself that it's better than you know it is. I'm not saying it's bad by any means. I'm really intrigued and I'm liking it, but it's just different than the Sarah J. Maas that I know from ACOTAR, but also, again, I know that she was a teenager when she wrote the first couple books, so I'm definitely not going to judge the series on that by any means, with the whole, like, looking into the weird marks? Wired. What are they called? Word marks. I don't know. I can't pronounce this stuff. I'm kind of wondering if like the statues of, or not the statues, the sarcophaguses, the sarcophagi of the king and the queen are like directly below the clock tower thing, and somehow I don't know, like, are those two things connected? I don't know. Also, like, is Cain connected to like the evil thing in the castle because he's being like weird and being around the clock tower with the weird marks, and then one of the champions shows up dead with like weird marks in blood all over the wall? But also, could that just be like Sarah J. Maas trying to make us think that it's Cain? I'm intrigued. Definitely intrigued. As we all know, SJM books get kind of wild at the end. I think this is her debut though. I don't know, like maybe it won't be like that. I don't know. We'll see. But I will update you when things start to get crazy, because I know that things are going to start to get crazy. Hi guys, don't mind how I look right now. It's been a long day, I guess. I am on chapter 46 in Throne of Glass. I have about 70 pages left. We have learned that Cain is the one that is summoning the Ridrak. Is that what it's called? And she almost died because of the Ridrak. But then Nehemia saved her. And Nox just left the castle because Selena told him to. And now I believe... oh, they just canceled the last test because Nox left. And they're just gonna go straight to the duel with the 4 remaining champions. Kaltain is suspicious as hell with her opium situation. Either she's being used, I feel like, by Cain or somebody else, or I don't know. She's just suspicious to me. And I also feel like there is something bigger going on besides just the Cain and the rhetoric thing. It's really picking up, guys. I am assuming some crazy is gonna happen during the duel. Join me while I read the last 70 pages. I forgot that Harrington tasked Caltaine with poisoning Celaena. Her past and future were seated on a glass throne. Hello guys, you wouldn't know it, but it is actually 2 months later. I was really hoping to like rapid fire these vlogs out, but I think the universe just had other things in mind. Or maybe I just had other things in mind. I don't know. I read Throne of Glass in March. It is now the beginning of May, and I'm getting into Crown of Midnight. I am in the middle of chapter 5 right now. First impressions, I'm very excited to be back in this world. I feel like attached to the characters, or at least I feel like I am becoming more attached to the characters. Chaol and Celaena. There's definitely something going on there, but like Celaena is still hung up on Dorian. And like I know there's a bunch of people that like Dorian, and maybe I'll like Dorian later. It's not that I don't like him, but then about Chaol, guys, something about Chaol. That hug when she got back from her latest trip. Yep, I love it. I love it. I have a feeling that nothing is actually going to end up happening with her and Chaol, at least in the long run of this series. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what I left off on with Throne of Glass. I think I said it, but I'm pretty sure I already know Celaena is actually going to be Aelin by the end of this book. And I feel like it probably has something to do with like Elena. Maybe she's like a secret daughter to the throne or something. I don't know. That is my guess, because I have seen like a lot of talk about Aelin on social media and never Celaena, so I just kind of feel like Celaena is Aelin. So we'll see what happens with that. Also, I don't know if I said it a couple months ago, but I accidentally saw a major spoiler, and that is that Nehemia dies. It's funny how I haven't seen any spoilers at all for this series until I start reading it. So that's annoying. So I know that happens at some point. I don't know when, but I'll just be waiting for that to happen. Sadly, I hate when I see spoilers. As far as like spoilers go, that is kind of where I'm at. I don't know anything else. I'm still avoiding all Throne of Glass content. If I see like any names or anything that is Throne of Glass related, I just keep a scrolling. Do not read anything because I just want to go in this so blind. I didn't even read the back of this. Obviously, not much has happened. Celaena is not actually killing the people that the king is telling her to kill. We know that much. Right now, she is trailing Archer to just see his movements and whatnot. That's where I'm at, literally not far in at all. I am going to read Assassin's Blade after Crown of Midnight. I have just heard that reading it in that spot is like the biggest emotional impact, so that's what I'm gonna do. Hi guys. I've been real bad at filming B-roll, as you can see. I am now halfway through Crown of Midnight. Ooh, I cannot remember what my last update was. I think I had just started the book. So, thoughts. I'm finding it a little bit slow, but I'm not minding that it's slow because I'm enjoying it. I love these characters. I'm kind of enjoying the build-up. As far as like action and like things happening, Throne of Glass was better in that way. But with Crown of Midnight, I know the characters and love the characters. So that is much better. Like I feel a lot closer with the characters than I did with Throne of Glass. So I feel like overall I'm enjoying it. I just do find it a little bit slow. Now, guys, Kale? No one is ever gonna convince me to not be 100% Team Kale. I love him. I love him. He's the perfect amount of broody. He's like broody, but soft with her. Ugh. No. Nobody's ever gonna convince me that she's gonna be with someone else. No. Where am I at right now? They just had their date in the greenhouse, and she told him that she has not been killing the people that the king has asked her to, and that she wants to run away, and he said that he wants to go with her. I'm so obsessed. We're still trying to figure out the riddle with like the eye, like you can only see with the eye or whatever the riddle is. Nehemia is teaching her about the word marks. Oh, Dorian has powers. We don't know really what those powers are yet, but he literally broke a window and then he made some books fly off a shelf. And he's super broody and upset because he misses Selena. Oh, she murdered Davis because she got like stuck in his study and he poisoned her. She's still working with Archer. Since I'm at the halfway mark, I am hoping that it starts picking up a little bit. I have really enjoyed just kind of hanging out with the characters, but yeah, I do hope that it picks up a little bit. I'm so sorry, guys. I have been holding out on you again because I just suck. I've been real bad with the B-roll, you guys, and I apologize for that because the B-roll makes it more fun. But I just reached chapter 44 in Crown of Midnight. I have less than 100 pages left. Things have picked up. I think last time we talked, I was talking about how much I love Kale. Honestly, it hasn't changed. Like, I still love him. He made a mistake. A big one. But, yeah, Nehemia is passed away. That was intense and crazy. Just the way that it was done. And I'm, like, still a little bit confused as to why that guy had a hit out on her. A little bit confused about that. So if any of you guys know, like, why, was it the minister? I don't know. Why he had a hit out on her, I would love to know. I could probably just easily look that up, but I'm so scared to look stuff up because I don't want to find spoilers. But anyways, we just got to the part where Selena goes down into like the library dungeons or whatever it is, and she uses the word marks to open the locked doors and goes like down into the spiral, and then she finds the spiral staircase going up, and then she realizes that she's in the clock tower. That was so intense. I literally thought there was going to be like a demon or like a crazed fae or like something down there that was gonna get her. So yeah, I am on the edge of my frickin' seat. I'm literally at the part where I just read like this much. There's a break right here, but Dorian just followed her down there. Kale has been like looking into who Selena is because somehow he found out that she's actually not named Selena. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise! Who could she be? Like, I have already theorized about. So he's like looking into like her lineage. And what else? The part with Baba Yellowlegs. That was very intense. I did not know what was going to come out of that. I mean, I knew that Selena would kill her, probably, but that was intense for a second. That was very intense for a second. My friend and I have been theorizing about the connection between Throne of Glass and ACOTAR, and I was talking to her about, because of the part with Baba Yellowlegs and her telling Selena all about, the word gates, and I'm like, that is what Amren came through. Like, if you've read ACOTAR, I'll try not to give spoilers, but I feel like if you've read Throne of Glass, you've probably read ACOTAR, but like, I feel like Amren literally came through a word mark. So, I don't know. Also, Roland having headaches and Selena having headaches when she's going down in the passageway. Probably a connection, right? I promise that from here on out, I'm gonna get better at B-roll in this video. It has been such a crazy month for me in terms of like my non-bookish life. So it's been very hard to vlog, but no more excuses. I have finished Crown of Midnight, guys. Once again, I have no idea where I left off. All I have to say is I was right. I was right, guys. Selena is Aelin. Also, Chaol jumping into that monster portal for Fleetfoot. Like, and I know that he messed up. Like, he messed up with the whole Nehemia thing. And like, that's like a big mess up. But at the same time, it's like, he didn't mean to. Don't hate me. I love him. I can't stop loving him. I liked this one a lot more than Throne of Glass. I gave this, I think, a 4.25 on Fable. But I might bring it down to a 4 stars because I felt kind of a little bit bored in the beginning. For the first, I would say 3/4 of this, I was like, okay, is anything gonna happen? But I mean, I still really liked it and I really enjoyed being with these characters again. So probably around a 4 stars. Next, I'm moving on to The Assassin's Blade. I am on the first novella and I'm on chapter 5. So dealing with the Pirate King right now. That's about all I know. And her and Sam are enemies. So we're gonna have a little enemies to lovers situation on our hands. That's my update. Reading Assassin's Blade after reading Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight is so interesting. I'm on the 3rd novella where she's with like the silent assassins and she's talking to Ansel, and Ansel's talking about like the Iron Teeth witches, and she just told Selena that the only way to kill a witch is to cut off her head. I just think it's so cool that she would need that information later on. And it's making me also think like what other characters and things in this book are gonna come back around that will be in the rest of the series. So fun. Hello. Guys, this flavor of Waterloo, lemon Italian ice, you're kidding. It's so good. I love when my battery dies right when I start recording. It's the best. This is how good my memory is, guys. I literally cannot remember if I updated you that I'm halfway through Assassin's Blade. I can't remember. I cannot recall. I'm on the 2nd to last novella here, The Assassin and the Underworld, just on chapter 1 of that novella. So I have seen her defeat the Pirate King, and then she went to Innis, is it called Innis? And met that healer girl and taught her how to fight, which was very cute and wholesome. I really liked that one. I think that one was my favorite one so far of these novellas. And then she went to the Red Desert to meet with the silent assassins. She met, what is her name? Ansel, Ilias, and then that guy that Ansel was with. But I kind of had a feeling that Ansel was not good. Like ever since they came back with the horses. Also, I love that. I loved that scene where they stole the horses and they were just like riding through the desert. That just, it was just kind of magical. It was kind of magical. I loved that. But the second that they got back to the silent assassins after stealing those horses, I was like, I kind of feel like Ansel is gonna turn bad. And what do you know? She did, especially after like picking a fight with Selena, like for no reason. I was like, oh, oh, here it comes, here it comes. Just like came in and like made up with her immediately, like the day after, and she was like hunky-dory and fine. I was like, no, Selena, girl, like no. And lo and behold, Selena finds herself drugged and left in the middle of the desert. Could have seen that coming from a million miles away, Selena. I am now on the Assassin and the Underworld. So she just got back to the Assassin's Keep in Rifthold, and Arobyn's weird. Arobyn's acting weird. I don't like it because he's like, I'm so sorry that I did this. And I just feel like that's not very Arobyn. I feel like he's like a narcissist. He literally punishes her and then like gives her this amazing opportunity to go and take care of this other guy and tells her she can keep all the money from it. And I'm like desperately trying not to get attached to Sam because we all know what happens to Sam. Trying not to get attached to him, but he's sweet. He's real sweet. So I have the Assassin and the Underworld and the Assassin and the Empire next. And I'm enjoying my time. I'm finding it a bit slow. I don't know. I like it because it's Selena and like I like learning her backstory. From like all of the hype around this book in particular, I kind of thought that this would be like absolutely devastating. I'm probably literally eating my words right now so badly, but like I'm waiting for the heartache. Maybe I just need to wait until like the last novella for that to actually hit. We'll see.
Had taken his time, and though that face was in ruins, it betrayed none of the pain he must have felt, none of the despair. This was some dream, or she had gone to hell after all, because she couldn't exist in the world where this had been done to him, where she paced like an idiot all night while he suffered, while Farron tortured him, while he ripped out his eyes, and Selena vomited on the floor. Footsteps. Then Arobyn's hands were on her shoulder, on her waist, pulling her away. He was dead. Sam was dead. She wouldn't leave him like this, in this cold, dark room. No. She yanked out of Arobyn's grasp, wordlessly.
Yeah, this was rough. I told myself the whole time I was not going to get attached to Sam. I told myself. But here I am. I got attached to Sam and now I'm sad. Ever since I knew about this series, I was going to read this book first, and then right before I started filming this, I just decided that I wasn't going to read this first and I was going to read it third or fourth. And I will say I could have read this first. I definitely could have read this first, and I kind of almost wish that I did read it first. I'm not upset that I read it third. It's fine because I think it was fun to see the connections that this book had to Throne of Glass and to Crown of Midnight. And I'm sure it will be really cool to see the connections that this book has on the rest of the series as well. But I will say if I could go back in time and tell myself what order to read them in, I think I would say to read Assassin's Blade first, because I think I would have been like even more devastated about Sam by the end of this book if I didn't know what was going to happen, because it's like the whole time I knew what was going to happen to Sam. Out of all of the little novellas in this, I think I enjoyed The Assassin and the Healer the most, which is the shortest one. I just thought that was very like heartwarming, and just Selena being a girl's girl, and I just love girls. So I really can't wait to see what the other books in the series, what little Easter eggs are from this book. I frickin' hate Arobyn. I frickin' hate him. I already knew I was going to, because obviously in Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight we hate Arobyn. We just don't know why. Wondering if Farron is gonna come up again. Also wondering if Arobyn is gonna come up again. Yeah, just wondering if any of these other characters are gonna come up. Like, is the Pirate Lord gonna come up again? Or why can I never remember her name? The girl that she met in the Red Desert with the Silent Assassins. Is she gonna come up again? I kind of have a feeling she most definitely is going to come up again. Also, the Healer, is she going to come up again? I'm very, very interested to see what the rest of the series holds. The time has come, guys. I am now on Heir of Fire. Obviously to you, this video is just a video, but this has literally taken me months to get to this point. When did I read Throne of Glass? I'm pretty sure it was in winter. It must have been like February. I just checked and it was in March, and we are now in June. So it has taken me a very, very long time to get through this series so far. But I am currently listening to The Favorites by Lane Fargo, which is my in-person book club pick for this month. So once I'm finished listening to that one, I am going to be solely focusing in on Throne of Glass. It is June 16th right now, so I'm gonna take the rest of the month and probably most of July to finish up the Throne of Glass series. I'm not gonna be focusing on anything else because this vlog is coming out next week. So we gotta get this done by next week, and then part 2 will be up in July. That is the plan, at least. Anyways, enough blabbing. I am on chapter 4 in Heir of Fire, which is page 36. So really not far in at all, but already really enjoying it. I have already met Rowan and I've already met Manon, and they're both very intriguing. I knew this was the book where we got new characters, so I'm just really excited to dive into this. When I read ACOTAR, I read them back to back to back, and I have to say that was the best thing that I could have done. And I feel like that is why I was so obsessed with ACOTAR, because I really immersed myself in the world. This is going to be the last book in this video, so definitely subscribe or stick around to see part 2 next month. That is where we're at. I don't think I really have an update other than Manon sounds like a badass. Rowan's kind of a dick right now, but he's probably gonna get better, right? I don't know. Let's just absolutely dive headfirst into this series, starting now. I'm not even that much farther in, but I just need to read this quote because it had me smiling. Manon Blackbeak stood on a cliff beside the snow-swollen river, eyes closed as the damp wind bit her face. There were few sounds that she enjoyed more than the groans of dying men, but the wind was one of them. Manon's kind of a badass. I don't know if we like her yet. From what I have heard, she kind of seems like a big part of the series, so I think eventually, at least, we might like her. Or maybe she's the bad guy. I don't know. Whatever is going on here with Dorian and Sorsha, I think that's how you say it. I like it. It's cute. Wait, is this gonna last? Is she gonna die? So cute. It's giving me goosebumps. I'm on chapter 18. I don't even think that's a quarter of the way through yet. Maybe it is a quarter of the way through. And I'm just liking it. He knew he shouldn't, but he moved to peer over her narrow shoulder at the work table and the bowls and vials and beakers. She made a small noise in her throat, and he swallowed his smile as he leaned a bit closer. This is normally a task for apprentices, but they were so busy today that I offered to take some of their workload. She usually talked like this when she was nervous, which Dorian had noticed with some satisfaction was when he came near. And not in a bad way. If he'd sensed that she was truly uncomfortable, he'd have kept his distance. This was more flustered. He liked flustered. Oh, I just love like the flirty kind of stage. I think we just discovered that Rowan's other form is the hawk, or at least that's what Selena thinks. Aelin, Selena, I don't know. I guess we're still calling her Selena at this point. They went to the Barrows burrows. I was having a hard time picturing like what that looks like. And I tried to look it up, like fan art, but also I'm like really scared to look up fan art because I'm scared that I'm gonna get spoilers if I do that. So I'm just trying to keep that to a minimum. But that was pretty creepy, whatever that thing was. That was like bringing her through her traumatizing memories. Still feeling bad for Chaol, guys. I love him. I miss him and Selena. We learned about the wyverns, and Manon and her 13 were like the best riders of all of the clans. The matron of the Blackbeak witches said that she wants Manon to be like the champion or something, because there's going to be like trials or something between all of the clans. So kind of interested about that. I definitely would not want to F with these witches. They're all very scary. What the hell is Adian, I think that's his name, doing? Chaol is like trying to catch him at one of his like party things that he keeps hosting, or supposedly he keeps hosting, but like he can never find him there. So what's he up to? Yeah, that's where I'm at. Hi, I am officially halfway through Heir of Fire, guys. I am at the part where Rowan makes Selena, Aelin, I don't know what we're calling her at this point. He makes her go across that frozen lake to get Luca from the middle and like unchain him and stuff. And they literally just saw the eyes. So I'm heading into chapter 35 where they are trying to scramble off the ice to get away from this creature. Aelin / Selena has officially learned how to shift on command, which is exciting, and I absolutely loved that scene where she like it finally clicked for her and they're just like running through the forest and she's just having like the best time. I was smiling so hard, and I just feel like it was the first time that like her and Rowan kind of had like a friendship moment and they were like having fun together, and it was just so cute. I really enjoyed that scene. I think so far that's been like my favorite scene in this whole book so far. Manon fell off a cliff with Abraxos and he finally flew. That's where we are with Manon. She's finally getting the 13 out on the wyverns and getting them training. What else? There's so many storylines here. Sorsha finally caved and kissed Dorian, so that's exciting. And as far as Chaol, him and Adian are working together now, and he told Adian about Selena and how she's actually Aelin, and there are people after them now that have the king's emblem, like the wyvern emblem, but Chaol doesn't know who they are. So that is where I am at right now. I'm still, like I said, I'm in Aelin / Selena's chapter where she's trying to save Luca off the ice. So far, I will say the first half of this has been kind of a lot of new world building in a way. I just feel like we're kind of getting to know the map a little bit better here and getting to know Manon and Rowan, because they were obviously not in the first 3 books, and just kind of like uncovering lore. I feel like this book has been so far. Sarah J Maas goes crazy in the second half of her books though. I'm very curious to see what will happen. Do you guys eat Yassos? The chocolate chip cookie dough is supreme. I like a lot of the other flavors, but this one is just something about it. Oh, also like very curious about whatever, like I don't even remember what they called it, but like when the magic stopped and there was like waves of, like a wave of something. Confused and also curious about that. Rowan and Selena / Aelin are searching for the creature that has like killed those random people. So there's that also. Also, is Queen Maeve gonna be like good or bad? I kind of have a feeling she is actually bad, and I kind of feel like Rowan actually might be like plotting against her. That's just a very like far-fetched in the future theory, or maybe like the end of this. I don't know. That's just a theory that I have. Also, really like Emrys and Luca a lot. They're so cute. That's where I'm at. I don't know if I'm just having like an off reading day or something, but I'm bored. It's not bad and I'm intrigued, but there's not a lot happening right now in Heir of Fire, and I'm just like not finding, it's taking me so long to finish this book, like abnormally long, and I don't know if it's because I'm like feeling slumpy, and I was feeling like slumpy before I picked up Heir of Fire, so like I wonder if it's that affecting it, or if I'm genuinely just like bored. Like I'm intrigued about what's going on, but like nothing is really happening, guys. We just saw Adian and Kale meet with one of those soldiers that worked in Knoll, so we got some like information about like the towers and stuff, which is interesting, but it's like nothing's happening. I don't know. This one's kind of boring, and honestly Crown of Midnight was like boring at parts too. I'm glad that I know that this series gets better every single book, because right now I'm just like not really feeling it, not gonna lie. I will admit though, I have been feeling like very dopamine drained, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like I'm picking up my phone a lot and it's draining me. It could also be that. It could be like a combination of all of these things. So I don't know if I already said this. Is Selena really starting to have feelings for Rowan? Like, girl, how many men are we gonna go through here? Is she? She said, gods, she had no interest in him like that, and she was certain he had no inclination to take her to his bed either. Maybe it was just from spending so much time in her fae body that she felt territorial. Like, I don't know. I'm just questioning this. I just saw spoiler fan art. Oh my god. Oh. So Rowan and Aelin do get together, huh? It is the day that this vlog comes out, and I have finally finished Heir of Fire. I finished it last night before bed. So that end was wild. I mean, I should have known. It's Sarah J. Maas. Manon had her trials, and she saved the other witch. I know her wyvern's name was Keely, but I forget her name. She saved that witch, and Manon is starting to feel, dare we say, empathy and remorse for everything that she has done. So that's interesting, and that makes me think that she's definitely going to become a good person. Selena and Rowan went to Doranel to meet with Queen Maeve, and she basically set the whole entire city on fire. So that was crazy. I need sunglasses. She broke Rowan's blood pact or blood oath or something with Queen Maeve in exchange for the ring that she found in, what is his name? Oh my gosh, I literally cannot remember names or anything. The sword that they found in the cave with the monster and the lake, that ring. She traded that for Rowan, and then Rowan made a blood oath to Aelin right in front of Queen Maeve after breaking his blood oath with her. So that was wild. Oh, also, the fact that she just like completely decimated the Volg princes, but she somehow like defeated them after they like consumed her. Like they consumed her and then she was like, nope, and then came back because she had to basically meet all of her demons and shadows in order to shine and to become Aelin again. So that was kind of cool, a cool concept. I feel like that kind of same concept works in like real life too, because you really just gotta do your shadow work, look at all of the bad parts of yourself in order to grow and change. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm glad that Emrys and Luca didn't die in the battle at Mistward. And then finally, we have the fact that the king basically figured out every single one of the traitors. So Chaol, Dorian, Sorsha, and Aedion. He took them all into his office and basically was like, okay, you guys can tell me what's going on right now. And lo and behold, Sorsha dies. How did I know? I knew it. So that was really upsetting. I wish I was filming when I was reading last night because I was like, so sad. He literally has his guards cut her head right there in the middle of the office, and Dorian is like devastated, obviously.
What bug is this?
I don't know what kind of bug that is. And then Chaol is about to confess that he's a traitor, but then Aedion steps forward and he basically confesses to being the traitor, and he is shackled and brought to the dungeons to be dealt with later. So he basically sacrifices himself for Chaol because him and Aelin are lovers and he wants to preserve Chaol for Aelin. So that's so sweet. Chaol made it out by the skin of his teeth and he is just booking it, literally booking it. So I think that is all that I have to report. That was a wild ending. I wouldn't expect anything less from SJM. I am like a little bit confused about some of like the lore and some of like the people and things. Like I'm a little bit confused about Brannon and whatever the other guy was. That was like on Brannon's side, and like how he had Brannon took the word keys, or he had the word keys and then Queen Maeve wanted them or something. I don't know, like that part kind of confused me, but I understand that Queen Maeve wanted the word keys, but Brannon had them. That's basically all I understand. And Brannon's friend is the one that left that sword in that cave with that creature and is the one that stole the eye from that creature. I don't know what the ring is, though, that Maeve traded for Rowan. I don't understand what that ring is and why she wanted it so badly. So if you guys know, please let me know down below. I am going to be only focusing on Throne of Glass in July, so I'm hoping that part 2 of this series will be out by the end of July. If not the end of July, I promise you it'll be the beginning of August, because I'm just gonna buckle down and read through the rest of these books. So I just started Queen of Shadows this morning. I only read chapter 1, which is only like 3 pages long. I'm very excited. A lot of people's favorite book is Queen of Shadows, so very excited. I feel like this is kind of where things start to happen and where people say the series really picks up. So I'm excited for part 2. I am really hoping to see you guys then. Let me know your thoughts down below. Obviously, if you're watching this, you've probably read this series, or you're not interested in reading it, so you're just watching it for fun. I don't know, but tell me your thoughts down below. I'd love to chat with you guys about this series so far. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!